Good morning, professional photographers of Idaho and beyond. I'm Bob Ryder.
I'm Larry Fry. We're back.
We're back, and it's we ran a great summer series.
Yeah, it's cool. It was fun.
Of what's in my bag.
Yep.
And that's not done with. We're kind of done with it for the summer.
Yeah, we got to coordinate some times and distances.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So our episode today is going to be kind of interesting. It's one of those necessary conversations that I think folks need to hear about. And you liking the tally lights?
I love it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We've got some new tech on the set today.
New stuff. We have a Pikachu tally light.
It's my
awesome.
son's iPhone. Anyway, we've got a great topic today, the jump, do nothing, or dump. And I know that probably doesn't mean anything to you yet, but by the end of the episode, I sure hope it will. We've got a couple of announcements that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
So let's roll back
The first one
to
is if you're, did you turn on the subscriber to chat thing?
Yeah, we should be able to see our social feed. Let's see who's on.
So the deal is, the first thing we need to probably mention on air is that we were getting a lot of spam during the What's in My Bag series from whoever is trying to spam us. So we basically turned on a feature that you have to subscribe to the channel to chat. May not stop the spammers, but it'll slow them down a little bit. So that's our hope. So
yeah, so if you're having trouble
chatting,
you need to be a subscriber to the channel, and I did put that out in the members group this week.
Yeah, I just think you'd probably be able to hear us. So we're telling you now, if you can't chat, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yep.
And we're just hoping the bots aren't in the practice of subscribing, because we can't keep up with it.
Right. Yeah, and that's what it is bots. It's not like real people. So they're just throwing junk out there to see what sticks, and we're trying to stop that. So.
And none of it sticks. It's all garbage.
Yeah.
I see the other thing went to sleep already, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
So,
We'll just.
but this one's staying with us, right?
As long as I know, now I know numbers. We should just put a number on each camera.
So Brian and Laquita are here. I hope to see. Did you post the chat is now open to everyone?
Chat is now open to everyone.
Yeah, I'm not sure who posted that. It's one of our administrators. It says chat is now open to everyone. I'm not sure who that is. It is open to everyone as long as they are a subscriber.
As long as they're a subscriber, correct.
At least that was my intent. If another one of our administrators changed that
might not have to change it back.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't follow the intent there.
Yeah.
Shauna's here. Good morning, Shauna.
Hey, Shauna.
Are you up north? She's, I think, McCall, right? Are you up in McCall? Let me know. I think you're up in McCall. But good stuff. Let's roll into our announcements. And the first thing that we're going to show them is going to be our PPI lunch.
Got a lunch today right after this. So first Friday lunch.
Yep.
1 o'clock. Idaho Pizza Company on Fairview, across from
Express Cafe.
Express Cafe.
Yeah.
It's usually pretty full, so go get your meal and head to the back, or you can go to the back first and secure a chair, and then come out and get your meal either way. So.
And this is social time, folks. This is time just to get together. This is a great time to borrow light stands or
whatever.
whatever. You know, it's just time to get together as a group.
Yep.
My wife and I were at Idaho Pizza last night, joining another organization's board meeting, pitching a job to them. And they wrote us a check. So
that's all good.
Idaho Pizza is widely used for such things.
Yeah.
Because they've got that great back room.
It's the Starbucks of pizza houses.
It is. So, definitely in our local area. Just that. So that's today at 1 o'clock here in the Treasure Valley. That's the Idaho Pizza in Meridian.
Correct.
And then I couldn't find a host for either Twin Falls or Idaho Falls. So if you are one of our viewers and you're thinking maybe you'd like to get together with folks in your neighborhood, we're looking for hosts in Twin Falls and Idaho Falls so that we could all kind of come together at the same time.
And it's really nothing to it, guys. It's a no-host lunch. You basically don't. You don't even
show up and buy your lunch and hang out with your friends.
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to make like reservations with the place or whatever.
No, we just show up and pull a bunch of tables together.
Exactly.
And try to get there like 15 or 20 minutes early and
kind of take over. So.
Yeah, give people the stink eye, like I need your table.
Yeah.
Right.
Aren't you done yet?
Are you done yet?
Can I clear that plate?
You done yet?
Yeah.
And then the next announcement, I'm going to let you have this one, right? This is a big deal.
Yeah, we got a pretty good deal going on here. It's the fall retreat, and coming right up September 22, 23, 24, and
into the 25th. 25th is the coming home day.
Actually, if you break it down, we'd love to have you arrive on the 22nd. That's Thursday.
Thursday evening.
And that's just a travel day for those of you that are ways away. We'd love to have you come and at the end of that day, or around 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, we'll put the time out. We'll be cooking some hamburgers, hot dogs. It's going to be a very simple hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and maybe a soda or water, and that's about it. Meal for those that want to come to the park. Then we get into the weeds on the 25th or 23rd and 24th. So Friday's mostly instruction day, and then Saturday, most of that is a shooting day. And we have all kinds of stuff out there on the website. I've got a great competition lined up.
Why don't we bump over to the website? I'm ready to. We can just flash that over real quick.
So we changed the website around a little bit, and there's 3 buttons now underneath the. If you want to be a best photographer, you can be.
I think I can highlight that with So we've got the Join Us.
Yep.
Right.
That's the normal, goes to the sign up page, and then there's one that says connect with us, and that's not live yet. But then the other one over here is subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that's kind of an important one. So you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and chat on the live.
Yeah, it's going to take you to our YouTube channel.
Yeah. So then, of course, under the events at the top of the page, we have the
page.
On the events.
Up here.
Yep. And if you click on that.
I got it.
There we go. We have the fall retreat. And there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's a few more rules coming out, but here's the big one that I'd really like to hammer home. You could win a pass to the 2023 PPI convention here in Meridian. So, listen, the board's listening to you. We know that stuff is expensive. Here's your chance to come out and hang out with us at Fall Retreat and win a pass to the event in Meridian next spring. So here's the rules. You got to go to Fall Retreat.
Yep.
If you go to Fall Retreat and you're in these classes, we're probably going to, we aren't, I'm not going to say that you have to do it, but you're highly encouraged to shoot in this one light challenge. You need to use the tools that we teach you in the classes. And at the end of the day, on Saturday, we'll put all those images up, and it's going to be a people's choice, and whoever wins, it's simple as that. Whoever gets the most votes wins, and they're probably going to win about a $300 package
to our convention.
To our convention, which
man.
is, that's bank, right?
We have really big things coming for convention.
So that's
and I'm not going to talk any more about that because I
overspoke
a couple of weeks ago.
I'm excited because we're actually getting way out in front of this, and guys, it's going to be, we think, a lot better because of it. So
yeah, and this last convention was excellent.
Yeah,
the hybrid convention we did last year
was awesome.
Excellent. And you know, we're working with the COVID situation and some of those environmental factors and some of the transportation issues, and it's just a lot of weirdness.
Yeah.
But that's all starting to kind of straighten out, and I just feel like we have more opportunities.
Me too. Let's roll into the next. Let's do the classes.
Okay, so they just saw the classes. That's been up there for a couple minutes.
So just to recap, the exposure diamond, posing for one light. So remember, all these classes kind of go to your thing about getting the free pass.
Yeah.
How to manage and your Instagram and all that stuff, and then the last one is make money on your side hustle. And all of this stuff is going to be on the Friday and Saturday, and it's going to end Saturday morning. We have a schedule out for the classes, and I believe it's on the website. I'm pretty sure those times are on there. That might vary a little bit. Like, you know, I'm pretty generous with the class times. I don't think some of that will be necessary.
Yeah.
And then again, on one of the classes, I think we could have more time than we have, allocated for. So.
Well, and our overall theme. I'm just coming back to make sure that we're live.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to this camera. Our overriding theme for Fall Convention is keep it simple and social.
Yep. And we wanted to, again, keep it simple and social. We want to teach you how to, for those of you that, I can't do that, I don't know how to, and basically the idea is if you're out on a shoot somewhere, you can actually make some cash on it. That's the whole business. And we really wanted to bring that out in this whole entire fall retreat. And there's a lot of people out there, well, I'm not good enough, I don't have this. Well, what I'm telling you right now, you're good enough.
Yep.
And we're going to tell you right now, you can also make some cash on this stuff on the side. And then, so
I'm going to talk a lot about that.
Yeah. So we have to, the premise is you show up, we teach you the classes, you shoot, you might win a convention pass, hopefully you do, and we all have a good time because of the socialization, and then we go home. So Thursday show up, Friday, Saturday's classes, travel day on Sunday if you want to stay up there a little bit and shoot some stuff, go right ahead.
Yep, you were just talking about that.
Yep, so
I think we're going to drag our trailer back to back home so we can see our boys.
Yeah.
And
I'll be coming back on Sunday, but probably won't be till late. So late or
stay and shoot stuff because there's stuff in outlying areas, and we've talked a little. We're going to talk all about Baker City next week.
Yeah, we'll hit this next week.
So we'll get into that a little bit. So let me clear out what's up so far, and then let's come in. It's 11:11.
Yep.
Perfect time for us to start talking about our topic today.
Fall retreat. Go out there and register. 25, limited to 25 participants, and we already have some. So I'm not saying that there's no spaces left, but you should jump on it. Oh, and by the way, if you register before the 18th, you save yourself $50. I think it's $50.
I think it's $50.
Yeah. So hop on it. It might be $30.
You know, all of this is right on our website, ppofidaho.com, and it's all here on the left. We're going to break this down, though, so we'll have all of this for you next week. In fact, next week's entire episode is dedicated to Fall Retreat, breaking down who the instructors are and what some of the times look like and what some of the outlying things are and where you can stay and all of those things. We're going to just take the time. We're going to take the 45 minutes or an hour and just talk about that next week. Right before the discount goes away.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, that's true. So it ends with next week is the 13th, I think.
It's Monday's the 8th.
Yeah. Yep, right. Yep. So right before. So
as well as the full-time photographers, because this jump, do nothing, and dump concept relates to all of that. Okay, and so we started at the beginning of the year, and we do this each year. We look at the previous year and see what the next year is going to look like. We forecast it. We talked about this. We usually do an end-of-year episode.
I think this works right into what we've always talked about, and that's a 5-year plan, basically, or a 3-year plan, or a 2-year plan, or whatever plan you have.
Or just have a plan.
Yeah, you can't just like if you're happy with where you're at, and like you're making.
There's a position for that.
Yeah, then
right?
you can probably slide the plan because you're good. But I will say that one of the most successful photographers I've ever seen, his mantra is innovate or die, and he's always changing things up. I'm not kidding. He has a multi-million-dollar business, and he's always constantly changing it. It's not now. Is it the same kind of photography and the same kind of thing? A little, yeah. But the rest of it, it's like, no, I'm going to go try this. I'm going to go try that.
Well, and one of the areas that this applies to in huge. Well, why don't we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why don't we get right into it? Okay. So I'm going to come right back.
I know. All right.
Well, I know, but let's come right into it with a slide, and let's start with jump. Are we ready for that?
Yep, let's do that.
All right. So, folks, jump is all about action, and I'm going to put us in the bottom corner here. Jump is all about action, right? Jump is doing something maybe that you haven't done before, or maybe doing more of the thing that is working for you, or maybe it's trying something that's completely foreign. Maybe you went to a workshop and somebody said something and you're like,
and the deal is sometimes when you see that kind of stuff on a workshop and somebody says something and you go out and try it and you fail. I mean, well, you don't really fail. You learn. That's a learning process. But if you hadn't done that, you'd never know. Maybe that item is something that you really should be doing and you just don't know it yet.
So one of the things for me that has always been jump is marketing. Mm-hmm. Right? All of these tie really well together. So let's just stay with jump for just a minute. One of the things for us in our business, if you're not putting yourself out there in some way, you don't stand a chance of people finding out about you.
Yeah, and there's sayings all over the place about this, and one of the biggest ones is if nothing's going to change if you stay in your comfort zone.
Oh, let's go. Hold on a minute. I have a slide for that.
Oh,
right?
yeah, sorry.
Oh, boom. So, brother, this is do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? If you take the same risk and you put forth the same effort, you're going to get the same reward.
Yeah, same stuff.
It's exactly like that. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're content with what you're doing.
Right.
If you've got a great side hustle, it's meeting your income expectations, you're enjoying what you're doing. For me, it would have to meet my 3 Ps, right? My portfolio, or it has to pay me, or it has to please me. If it's doing one or more of those, and it's a side hustle, and I have my job that's supplying income for my family, then maybe do nothing is where you're at. And do nothing isn't bad.
Yeah, not at all.
If you're content.
Yeah. And if everything you got going is working, but I can tell you as a wedding photographer, I did nothing, right?
Okay.
And then COVID hit.
Oh.
Now COVID was a thing, right? But just think about social media, and Bob he touched on this just a second ago in the marketing comment. Look what's happening to Instagram. You know, it's got, for photographers, it's not good, right? I mean, everything's going to video. We all get that. Everything's going to video. The younger generation.
Well, they're forcing it that way.
Well, yeah, but the younger generation was a huge influence on that with TikTok, right? And so now Instagram wants to be not TikTok, but it's Zuckerberg, and he wants his bank and his. So what are they doing? Basically, still photos are going to be kind of pushed to the back of the line. What they do with Facebook? Well, now they got algorithms out there, and I hate to use that word, but it's true. They have algorithms out there that if you're not directing a comment at somebody, that person may not see. I mean, you can go on Facebook all you want, and if you are clicking on some of their ads, not their ads, but their suggestions for you or whatever, pretty soon your friends are in the background. You won't see what I don't even see what my sisters are doing anymore. As a matter of fact, we kind of stopped the Facebook thing and just gone to messaging because it's easier. I mean, I can get a hold of them instead of just throwing something out on Facebook and hoping that they see it. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we're kind of, they're kind of forcing it on you on the marketing situation, and innovate or die. So
I'm getting some feedback that there's internet signal problems.
Okay.
But everything looks really solid at our end. But I've heard it both from Laquita, who's probably down in CUDA, and Shauna, who I assume is up where she lives in McCall.
Hang with us, guys.
Hang with us. And I'm recording this, so if for some reason this doesn't feed to YouTube properly, I'll ditch the live recording and post my local recording, because I have this. Everything looks solid at my end.
When he says ditch the live recording, he'll ditch it because of the sound issues. And we're recording this.
Sean says video keeps cutting out and repeating, and Laquita says my internet's cutting in and out. But our end, everything looks solid. See the on air, and the buffer's not full, and we've got a good broadcast situation going. So hang with us is
what we're saying.
Yep, please hang in there, and I do appreciate the
feedback.
The feedback. It's super important for us. I love that. The folks that are on are chatting amongst themselves too. That's really good. Sorry to have to look off screen for this. I can't keep this screen in front of me and still talk to you the way I'd like to. But in any case, let's come back. We're just gonna come back to our rundown here for a minute. And we were talking about do nothing, and you were making a point. Do you remember the point you're making?
Yeah, it's just that sometimes you do nothing. If you do nothing, my point was reiterate this, look at Instagram. If you do nothing and you rely on Instagram to market your material and you do nothing, you're screwed.
Because they're changing.
Because they're changing.
Yeah.
So it's, and the other one too was I was a wedding photographer, happy as a clam. I was doing my 10 to 12 weddings a year, which is about all I could handle. And I was making some bank on those and putting it in the bank, and then COVID hit and everything went to south. And now I got literally, there's no, unless you start over, there's, and I'm not doing that, so I'm letting things out the window. But that was part of the game plan anyway, so I'm good. So
you've been talking about ditching weddings for a while, and I know a photographer back in New England who just photographed her last wedding, and she's melancholy. She's like, I just photographed my last wedding, and I've been photographing weddings for years, and I think I'm going to miss them, but I'm so glad to be done with them, right? Maybe you're a wedding photographer and you love your weddings, stay with it. So we're going to come back to each of these topics. I'm going to introduce the last one, and then we're going to come back to jump. We're going to start all over, and then we'll kind of dig a little deeper into them, right?
Okay.
But I can't just tell them jump, do nothing, or dump, and not kind of at least summarize what each of them are, right?
Right.
So the next part of this, so we talked about jump, and that's our action word, right?
Right.
That's our doing something to advance forward, and then do nothing is fine if you're content. If you're discontent and you want more, then you must do more. So do nothing can be, all of these things are neither good nor bad. They just are what they are, right? And then dump. This is kind of really, really important. One of my favorite books by Mike Michalowicz is the pumpkin plan. Where you go through and you weed out the crappy clients, and we've talked a little bit about this in the past, right?
Yep.
Weeding out those clients that make you groan when the phone rings or whatever. But so dump is, if it's not working, why are you still doing it?
Right.
Right.
And it could be as simple as you've gone to that conference, you've tried whatever the dude was trying to tell you.
You tried the thing.
Yeah, and you've you didn't really fail. But I hate to say that word because actually it's a teaching.
You got experience.
Right, you got experience.
You experienced the results of something.
Now you can actually, if you want to, you can dump his or her way, the person who's teaching you. Now you've got some data, right? So now you can say, I like what happened here, but I don't like the result. Okay. Well, now you have data to fix that, right? So you have, well, if I cut this out because nobody used it and add this in, and that's how, a lot of the business plans kind of take shape. I'll go right back to the first thing I said about the guy that changes his business plan all the time. The reason why he changes it all the time is because half of it works, but not the way he thought it was going to work.
Well,
right?
and that's kind of the whole idea of throw it against the wall and see if it sticks, right?
Right. Yeah.
I had a pivotable. I got this. I have a pivotal moment, and this was precisely at the 10-month mark with my studio here in Idaho, and my landlord came walking over next door. And he said, time to renew your lease. And I'm like, well, last month's rent went on a credit card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Like, I closed a very successful studio out west and opened a retail studio here before I had any clientele whatsoever.
My bad. That was a jump.
Dude, that was stupid, right? But it added credibility at the same time.
Sure.
So it helped me get established. So he came in, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and I went home and we talked to my wife, and we had this conversation about do we stay or do we go? Do we what does it look like if we close the studio and whatever? Okay, Saturday, I decided I'm going to close the studio. I'll tell him Monday morning when I walk in, and Monday morning, I walked in the door and locked my door, opened my door, and went, oh, there's no way in hell. Right? I love what I've created here.
Oh, that was a great studio. Yeah.
And I spent a couple hours walking in my rectangle. My last studio was a big shoebox, right? When we cordoned spaces off with some cool
pipe and drape, basically.
Yeah, well, we did pipe and drape. We did the hanging wall.
Yeah.
It was super cool, very industrial. And I spent a couple hours walking that, and I'm like, all right, what is working? What isn't working? What do I need to do to change? What do I need to change to make this successful? And that was the moment that the first thing that came to me is, what the hell am I doing here inside my four walls when I need clients from out there? I'm going to repeat that. Okay, what am I doing inside my four walls? What am I doing behind my keyboard when my clients are not where I need them to be? They're out there. They're outside the door. They're down the street. They're the neighboring business. They're the business down the block. They're the business on the other side of town. What am I doing in here doing this stuff when the algorithms are constantly changing? Right? I don't know if this came up here recently. Maybe it was something that Aaron Hockley brought to us in the workshop a few weeks ago. He said, your website's the only thing that you have control over.
Yeah, that was Aaron, yep.
And I was gobsmacked. That hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, your website is the only thing that you can contribute to frequently that you actually have control over.
Yeah.
So I make the coolest, bitchinest posts. That was a Mikeism, bitchinest. I don't know if he'd actually say that, but he says gooder a lot. So if he can say gooder, I can say bitchinest, right?
Yeah.
You make the bitchinest social media post, it gets 8 views.
Yeah.
Or 800 views. Is it repeatable? Or 8,000 views. Is it repeatable?
No.
No. Why not?
Because you don't have
Because
control.
somebody else is controlling who sees that.
I get more likes or whatever, views, people that see crap. No, I can't say that.
Say it anyway.
Well, okay, I'll say it this way. I get more instant feedback.
Okay.
On posting something on the PPI members or PPI Facebook pages.
From your peers.
Then I'm talking about instant feedback, than I do posting something on my photography page by far. Now, over the long term, because of the way the algorithms work and everything, eventually that stuff reaches out to where I want it to reach, but it takes a while. It takes 2 or 3 weeks, literally. I mean, you can watch it. You can watch your numbers.
Well, and so let's have this conversation. Folks, if you're posting stuff, like you're having an event tomorrow and you post it tonight,
you saying,
hey, looking forward to seeing everybody in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to see that on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well,
or
tomorrow is Saturday. But what I really mean is I'm going to see that 2 or 3 days later.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. Or a week later.
Yeah.
And I found out a friend of mine passed away.
I know,
But it was weeks after the fact.
That's what I said. So my sisters, I mean, there's medical conditions in our household, right, or our family, and I like to keep up. I like to know if they're okay or whatever. And so, literally, we just switched to Messenger because we would go on to Facebook and
make a family post for the family to see,
and tag whoever, and then 4 days later, I'd find out that my sister was in the hospital or some stupid thing, and I this isn't working. And now,
So you went the dump route.
Well, we went the dump route, but here's the not too bright moment is we all have cell phones. Text,
right.
So.
But I hate group texting.
Well, it's not for. I'm talking about business stuff. So this was just an example. Like if you, just like Bob said, if you say, "Hey, I'm having a shoot tomorrow. I'd like to have 3 models," and you post it one day, the models won't even see it until Tuesday or Wednesday. It's not the deal. So in my case, I now know quite a few models. I have their contact information. In my case, I use a text message a lot. So
So there's a whole nother conversation in this, and maybe that will follow Fall Retreats episode, because we could really spend some time on this communication system. We have a neat opportunity right now. We met with a gal named Tina O'Rourke. Tina, I don't know if you're watching today. Maybe you'll watch the replay. We're working with a gal named Tina O'Rourke, and she does, her business is social rights. She will author your LinkedIn page for you, or assist you in authoring your LinkedIn page. Okay.
So LinkedIn, in your case, because of your clientele, LinkedIn's important to you.
It's important. I'll be honest with you, man. If you have a business and you're not on LinkedIn, you're missing a vital space.
Yeah.
But I told her, because I'm hoping to bring her on as a guest as well. We're trading headshots, and she's handling my wife's LinkedIn page. My wife is brand new to LinkedIn, doesn't completely understand it, right? Tina's going to help her build this page, and in exchange for that, we're going to do some headshots with her, and we're going to talk about each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so folks, this is.
There's some cross marketing for you. And we talk a lot about trade for print.
Let's take that off, and let's put this up. Okay.
Yeah.
Folks, this is Jump.
Yeah, true.
This is Jump. This is doing something differently. Okay. I've had a LinkedIn presence for many, many years. I'm 20 years or so into having businesses of my own, and I've been on the whole time. And I asked her, I said, give me the top 10 things that are wrong with my LinkedIn page. And I got a list back like a day later.
20,
I'm like,
20
man, that didn't take her very long to find out how screwed up my LinkedIn page is. But this is part of my jump, okay? Because you did say, right?
Yeah.
This is a big part of my business plan. I met people this morning. We were out the door before in the early 7 o'clock hour to go to a grand opening at a coffee shop, and I met somebody, and we're already connected and having a conversation on LinkedIn.
And I don't think that this is a surprise to anybody, but just in case anybody out there doesn't know, LinkedIn is kind of the business B2B, online B2B place to be. So it's businesses, which is his alley. I mean, that's
it is.
B2B.
And
now don't discount this. Every one of those businesses have humans, and every one of those humans have families.
Yes.
So don't discount LinkedIn. But what I'm saying is there's platforms that he needs to be on. That's one he needs to be on.
You bet.
I don't necessarily need to be on LinkedIn.
I agree.
But I'm there because.
So even if you don't want to have a personal LinkedIn page,
correct,
you can put your business there.
Yep.
And guess what? It's another place for SEO to pick you up.
Yep. So everything I do for my business is Larry Fry Photo. Period. And that's not the name of my business, but I shortened it. So I don't have to type.
Because photography is long.
Yeah, photography is long. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the jump part that we were talking about.
We're going to come back to jump.
And maybe
let's jump right back in.
Maybe you going out on LinkedIn. Now, here's my dilemma.
Tell me.
Well, I hate TikTok.
I don't TikTok.
No, I hate it.
I'm not interested.
Well, I'm not either, but that's where it's going to be. So
that's where it's going to be your model space would be there.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean,
I want 50-year-old models and 65 and 75-year-old models. I don't want 20-year-old models.
So young adults are on TikTok.
Yes, they are.
Young adults have families.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're not doing a TikTok, and I even hate to admit this, I made an account. Sorry, but I did. I hate it.
They're going to see you coming.
They're going to see me coming.
You're like white hair, old guy.
No, I don't put my picture out there. So anyway, it's one of those deals.
It's like an online dating service.
Yeah, well, it's one of those deals.
You never know what you're going to get.
Bob needs to be on LinkedIn.
I totally said that.
I need to, unfortunately, be on TikTok. Now, I'm not going to do well, obviously not an influencer, but what are the people that do the stuff to get views? They're trying to be influencers, and I don't remember the term.
Well, you can pay for view. You can pay for.
Yeah. Anyway, none of that's going to happen.
That's a bunch of crap.
But what's it going to cost me to go on TikTok?
Time.
Well, not just if you make it a time suck, it'll be a time suck.
Sure.
It's just like Facebook.
Sure.
But what's it going to cost me? Literally, well, how much is an account? Nothing. Okay. How much do I have to invest in camera gear? None. If I make, let's just say I do 2 10-second blurbs a week, probably cost me about 5 minutes. And if somebody sees that.
So the jump aspect of that is you get to try that.
Yeah,
and if it's and you got to try it for 3 months,
right? And
if it's fruitful for you, do more of it.
Yeah, or maybe.
And if it's not,
yeah, and who knows?
Dump it.
Who knows? Maybe I get a job out of the thing, and if I just do 2 a week for 3 months, and I get 1 job, folks, that's a great return. That's a awesome return. So he needs to be on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, where I'm headed, I got to be on the video thing now. Yeah. I'm not going to ditch Instagram. I'm pretty much done with Facebook. I'm not going to ditch Instagram, but it'll slow down. I'll tell you what's going to happen here. I'm going to make the same. I'll make the same.
Whoa! Here we go.
I'll make the same.
We're going to punch into Larry here. I'm talking right into that camera.
I'm going to make the same video for both platforms.
And you're going to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. So there you go.
What do you think of that tight shot there? That's gripping.
I thought I could see my throat there.
All right, so let's come back.
Yep.
So we finished there on dump for just a minute, and I was talking about the pumpkin plan. I was talking about my 4 walls. That's how we kind of went down the social media route. Mm-hmm. I realized that for what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do, because when we moved here, we were doing the general purpose photographer thing. I had some great sales, and I'd had some lousy sales, and I had some clients and I had no clients. You know what I mean? It's all over the place. It's the do nothing thing, right? I could sit behind my keyboard. That's comfortable. Right. I don't have to interface with anybody. Yeah. I can just post content and hope that some of that sticks somewhere.
So are we still on jump then?
Well, this was dump, right? This is where I was going with that.
Yeah, okay.
And I decided to dump all of that and get out. So I went and I found like 5 different networking groups: the Eagle Chamber of Commerce, Meridian Chamber of Commerce, George Siebold's Toulouse, and a couple of B&I groups. And I started getting out and meeting people, and instantly my business started to see a response to that. The pulse quickened, and the people that just stopped in my business would just come by. And it was really good for me, right? So for me, that moment of walking my space and realizing I can't do nothing.
Right.
Do nothing would mean I've got to close this operation. I had to dump some things, and I had to jump some things.
And now we're in your new studio,
Yeah.
and it's actually spacious, and it looks great. And absolutely the right move.
There were 11 of us in here on Monday. I had 9 clients in the room with us, plus my wife and I, and it was fine.
Yeah. So we're kind of going to go back to this because.
Yep. You coming back to jump?
To jump, because one of the things that we want you to do.
How do you want? You want to slide across?
Sure, let's slide across.
Oh, there it is.
One of the things that we want you to do in Fall Retreat is to take this information, and this is going to be a jump for most of you, because a lot of you, I think, of the people that are going to come, and so far, haven't made the jump into a side hustle business. And we hope you will, because it works. And just like we've been talking about this now for 20 minutes. I hate TikTok, but I'm going, and I got to see what happens. And my educator friend that Innovate or Die, I've watched him for 10 years.
You talking about Sal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he constantly change. I mean, it's like it blows me away. He's
constantly working new angles.
Exactly.
So
he's jumping everywhere.
So,
I mean, he's had like.
Let's come right into that concept for just a minute.
Yeah.
Jump doesn't mean you have to stop doing what you're doing and do something completely different.
Oh, no.
It could literally be, and I kind of love the way that I just said that, he's constantly trying new angles.
Yep.
His core work is his core work.
Absolutely.
But you constantly have to test different theories. You constantly have to test different angles of how can I approach this. We've talked about this when we talked about this was before Christmas, I think. We talked about having multiple disciplines within your business. Like we do business imaging, right? So we had an electrician come in and provide electrical outlets, electrical power, 3 new circuits for our studio, right? And they did that pro bono through a veterans group, which is huge. It was Boise Electric, folks. I'm going to say it right out there. A good group of people. Garrett's the owner. I haven't met Garrett yet. I sent Garrett a long message that said, what you did for us was really meaningful, and I went on and on. And I offered to say, imagine that,
yeah.
Right? But really, what I said to him was, I would love to reciprocate in the way that I can. Okay, you did something that was super important to me, and I'd love to reciprocate. If your business could use what I do, if your business could use headshots, let me know. And he reached out to me yesterday. He said, you know what? Thank you for the note. And this has been a period of time of maybe a month and a half where he didn't respond to my text. And he said, I've been thinking about it. He goes, I'm starting a new thing on the side. Mm-hmm. He's starting a side hustle. I can't really use what you've offered, but would you be willing to do some product photography for me? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get back to you because you did me well, and product photography is well within my realm. Is it something I do every day? No. Is it something that I talk about with my public elevator speech? No, not really. We do say all things business, right? We do say we photograph business processes. We do say we photograph big things, industrial things, manufacturing. Guy comes to me and says, do you shoot product photography? Yeah, absolutely. And we've done a bunch. There's stuff that you've seen. I know you've seen it around town. Bee Rescue. We've done a lot of work for the Bee Rescue. He sells honey all over town. He rescues swarms, which I think is fascinating, by the way. But so that's an adjunct product to what I do, right?
So, and what we're talking about here. So again, Sal go out and, for example, he shoots fashion, a lot of fashion. So, okay, he shoots fashion. Well, what do you have to do there? Well, you have to have the clothes for the fashion, right? Well, there's two ways to get clothes. You either buy them or you have somebody make them. Well, he got to thinking, well, if I need them, other people have to need them too. So, bam, he starts Inception Rentals. It happens just like that. I'm going to need this. So, and he's talking about a big jump here. He outsourced the whole business. He's not making.
He's not making dresses.
No. And neither is his staff in his office.
Yep.
They're doing what they do, which is running a camera. That's what they do. They might be running a camera at a wedding. They might be running a camera at an engagement shoot. They might be doing seniors, but they're running cameras. He's not making dresses, but now he's got a whole, and he goes out, I need seamstresses, I need designers, and
then you hire somebody to run that business.
Yeah, and then boom, and now it's a business. And now, and then of course COVID hit, so I think that one went away. It doesn't matter. He's had a dozen at least businesses.
I'm going to say this. I do think that you can spread too thin.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's worthwhile. Okay, let's take this back to something from the Wayback Book. Okay, I used to do advanced
Our
electronics.
Wayback Book is 2 years, by the way.
No. This is more like 30. I used to do advanced electronics for the military. Okay, and in troubleshooting, you know this, right? In troubleshooting, you don't change a whole bunch of crap all at once.
No, don't do that.
You change a thing
and observe.
and see and observe and see. Okay, did that have an effect? No, it didn't. You got to change that thing back, right?
Yeah.
And then you change the next thing and observe, and if that has an effect, right? If you changed 5 things and it has an effect, you don't know what you've changed that made the difference.
If you don't test your code.
Right?
So if you do any type of coding at all and you change a whole bunch and then you run it and it goes sideways, which there's 50-50 chance it's going to go sideways.
I would say it's better than that.
It's probably 75-25. Yep. Now you got to hope. Well, there's a couple of things. One, you hope you backed up all your crap because you're going to need it. That's A. And then 2, you got to go through your changes, and that's where the change log comes in. But if you've made 100 changes, now you got to troubleshoot 100 things. So and there could be, and not only that, but it could be instead of one thing making it go to crap, it could be a combination of 3 of the 100 things that make it go to crap. So yeah, backups are important. But what we're talking about here we're not talking about you quit everything. We're talking about like the dress thing was a perfect example.
Yeah, that's a good example.
He knew that he was looking for this stuff. I have a ton of ideas. I think people are looking for stuff. I just need to get it done. So, greater the risk, greater the reward. He went out and did it. I know it worked, and I don't. It went under, but it was because of COVID. Because that whole thing just went. So, but guess what? He didn't let that bother him. Now he did downsize during COVID because
all of us downsized during COVID.
So, but he didn't let that deter him. He's back at it already, and he's.
Well,
so
and
it's just
and so he opened a retouching business, right?
Yeah.
I mean the same guy, right?
Evolved,
same concept.
Yeah. Yep.
So this, and I'm going to read the slide. Add employees or outsource your work. And outsourcing can be interesting. Let's come back for just a minute. Outsourcing doesn't mean you're sending this overseas.
No.
Outsourcing might be finding a local service that does that task.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I use a printer for my printing needs. Okay, we do photo printing in-house up to a certain size. But if I need metal prints, I'm not going to go buy all the crap that I need to make metal prints. Because I'm going to do that 2 or 3 times a year. I'm going to go to somebody. A lab is a perfect example to deliver people. You're already out. I haven't outsourced my editing, but I've been spending time developing systems in some AI, and I can combine them in different ways to get different results. I could teach somebody to do
more environment as from in this environment. I use the or whatever there in this environment. If you're out there and you're doing landscape photography and stuff, that kind of goes out the window. But
I don't think so.
But again,
I think your set of tools changes.
Well, but again, the outsourcing can go to somebody. Because when you get a relationship sourcer, or and you're gonna, and one of the things when in my wedding with his, I need to be controlled like an idiot. How big of an idiot I actually was. Because actually I got that within 2 or 3 days. It comes back and it's a handful of images to kind of like go, don't quite like that.
Yeah.
Out of
we did a big job.
By the way, you build that at your price.
Part of what you're charging for, right? Yeah. That's like, I was hired to do summer, but immediately prior to the job, we went and spent 3 days doing like 120 some odd headshots for one of the clubs in town. And I took from McCall, just better than dial-up. With a phone cradle. I was that stuff off as JPEGs to retouchup.com. I got it all back, and I'm like, God, I hate not the way I do. It's like, it's fine. Oh my God.
Well, that's and
you know what?
It was fun.
It was fine.
So as photographers, we all want everything to be perfect. That was and then goes away.
It's good.
Yeah.
Well, I thought
it's 11.
And internet for a while, and then it's cutting out again, and it looks like it's fine.
Hang with us. We'll post the replay.
Yeah, so. We'll post the replay. So let's do. We're going to drop this one up, and we'll end with this.
Okay.
You ready to do this?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm going to do one more. Go ahead and slide that across.
Okay, coming across.
I'm going to do one more thing. The PPI Fall Retreat. It's on the website. Ooh. Please make sure and register if you can before the 18th. Not that you have to, but if you want to save some coin, that's exactly what you need to do, is register before the 18th. September 22, 23, 24. Don't forget those dates. There's a lot of stuff going on in Fall Retreat. We'll have a complete rundown next week. So, and if you like a community of like-minded individuals, we just had a guy in the community reach out for some light stands 2 days ago, and he's already got that taken care of. So that's the kind of stuff that we do. So join us. Go to ppidaho.com. Right underneath the banner on the front page, there's a button that says "Join Us," and if you hit that, it'll take you to the registration or to the page where you can join us. Listen, it's pretty cheap. And by the way, I can write these off on my taxes, so I'm just letting you know. My accountant can do it. You probably can too.
$10 a month.
$99 a year. And if the only thing about the per monthly thing is we want you there for 12 months. So if you do the $10 a month, it's a 12-month commitment. That's all we ask. And when you do that, you get to go to Fall Retreat for cheap.